widen the road and they're gonna have to repave it.
They were driving the piling Tuesday.
Yeah.
They got to drive pilings in on some of them to hold the backfill from when they, like you say, they expanded the road. They were driving those the other day.
They had just started that on Monday when I was there about noon.
Tuesday they had quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
But yes, we drove down there Tuesday, along with apparently an Amish buggy. They figured they were going to drive down in there and get across there, but quickly found out there was no way across the river.
Well, I've had a
conversation.
I've probably been there a half a dozen times since they started this project. And just about every time that I've been there, there's been somebody who doesn't understand plain English and comes over the hill, and has to turn around and go back. And so I asked some of the workers on the site, I said, does this happen frequently? Every day.
All right.
Every day.
Multiple times a day.
And I said, what's really gets interesting, if you've got a pickup truck with a big trailer behind it, it's almost impossible to get turned around.
Well, you know why people do that. And I run into it here in the city of Hillsdale. They'll put road closed signs.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, exactly what road is closed, and is my path closed or not?
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm not pulling anything, so, I mean, when I know what I'm taking on when I do this, but unless you know that those bridges are fully closed, you're gonna think, oh, well, locals can get through here somehow, I'm gonna test it. I mean, I believe that's what people do, unless they truly know that those bridges are closed and there is not passable.
The signs at each end say road closed, bridge out.
Well, I understand that, but I also know why people go around them.
So I was in Calhoun County yesterday hauling hay, and they were seal coating 18.5-mile road. And I liked how Calhoun was doing it. They put a road closed over one lane, and then they parked the county pickup over the other one with a guy in it. So when the trucks hauling the chip seal come in, he would back out, they'd go through, then he pulled in. The road was closed.
Yeah.
You weren't getting down there.
Yep.
Anybody else?
That's it?
Nope.
So we talked about Hug Creek Bridge and the Elm Road thing. We're still waiting on.
But they took the shots and sent them off last week, so.
Okay. So it looks like a pretty good chance that the 2 miles on Camden Road in Ransom Township are not gonna get paid.
I wouldn't say a good chance. I think they still can and will do it as long as weather allows them.
Okay,
But if you told them they had to do it, your prices shot up through the roof.
okay.
So I think most of them are gonna wanna get it done, because they wanna get it done and work on something else next year. They don't wanna push something off to.
Especially when they're in the area.
Yeah. And it's a very basic, pressure shape basically, kind of a hard thing to do. So they get a week or two of good weather, they can knock it out. And
Earlier in the year, you had talked about, especially after coming back from the conference, about doing 1 mile in Camden Road, east of Camden in Camden Township with some sort of a new process. Is that still being looked at?
well, I talked to the vendor actually yesterday. He was in Jackson while I was there, because he's also the same guy that we get the emulsion from for chip seal. And so I let him know that I'm not happy with any of the chip seals from last year. Because originally he said that this year they'll bring us emulsion to redo bacon and the parking lot out here, because that was like the last loads of last year, and they just totally failed. Well, I don't know how much you drove around to look, but almost every chip seal road this year, when it started heating up, started liquefying again. And I've never seen a chip seal do that before. And so I told him what it was doing. He was kind of surprised too. So he's coming down the first week of July. We're going to go drive all the chip seal roads that we did last year, and then they're going to make a decision on what they're going to do for us.
Okay.
But he's also the same one that was going to do it's kind of like a slurry seal to fill in those ruts.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to him at the same time.
Question. Back to the territorial road bridges, did I hear, based on Gary's comment, that they're gonna be outside what they said they were gonna be done by?
Well, from what Gary said.
Okay, so if that's the case, I guess my follow-up question is in the contract, are they supposed to have it done by July 1st, and are there repercussions for not?
I don't think their liquidated damages kick in until September.
Okay, so July 1st was kind of an early date because
Yes.
things were going
That's
up.
what,
Okay,
that's
what
what
I
they
wanted to know.
projected,
Okay,
but they had until, I wanna say it's first of
Okay.
September to,
okay.
and after that, we get liquidated damages
Okay.
done.
I just wanted to be clear on that in case it came up in a
Yes.
conversation or in a meeting, so.
It's
Okay,
either September, October.
okay, perfect.
Well, I'm thinking in order to get approval for the federal aid, it had to be done like by the 25th or the 26th of September. There was a date.
It had to be
Yes,
started
that was
by-
the,
It
that
had
was
to
the
be
permit.
started, but it also
It
had to be
end
done
the
within-
following year by
yeah,
then.
by that date.
Yeah,
So that gives
so yes, I believe it was the
a full
24th or
year.
25th of September.
Thanks.
Any more old or new business?
Oh, okay, sorry. That one had to-
I mean, no.
You got new business.
It's on the agenda.
Oh, yeah. The, 24 Board of Directors election, Southern representative and at-large representative.
So basically, you've got two election forms for the Southern, which that's what you voted to, if they disband it, to put the money back to CRA. But until that happens, they still gotta fill,
Oh, man.
because it's still a valid thing right now until they disband it. So, there's 3 people on each one that I guess you would need to vote as to who you would like to,
How many openings?
Two on
vote
one,
for
one
2.
on one.
2 on this one and 1 on this one.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the 1, because maybe that's a little easier. The people are Patricia Loosemore from Eaton, Charles Moser from Chippewa, John Rogers from Kalkaska, and Jake Welch from Berry. So out of that, Jake is the only one I know.
And there's an incumbent. It has the I in parentheses on it.
And so that's John Rogers is the incumbent. Yep.
And so on that
Okay.
particular board, we only get to vote for 1 or for
Yep.
2?
1. And like I said, John Rogers is the incumbent, Jake Welch is the only one I know, and he just the county's over.
Hastings.
Berry County.
Well, my 2 cents, and I don't even know if it applies or not, but if they're trying to disband, I'd hate to put new people on the board and change their direction.
What?
I understand
I
that.
think that's a good point.
I mean, and if we're all behind disbanding it,
And then you get new people that don't wanna.
right, and then
Well, you better get the incumbent in there.
Yeah.
that would be,
I would move we vote for the
Support.
incumbent.
So which one was that?
That's the at-large.
Yeah, John Rogers.
So that would be John Rogers, Kalkaska, and he's the incumbent. So the next one
We
is,
gotta vote on this, we have a motion on the floor.
I would, is that a motion, was it supported?
Yep,
Okay.
supported.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Gary,
Yeah, and Mark
and Mark.
supported it.
that was, I didn't even,
Too fast.
Yeah, that was a quick one. I didn't catch that.
All right, so the next one is the Southern representative, and there's 3 nominations, and you can vote for 2 of them. There's 2 incumbents. W.C. Askew from Van Buren is the new one. Timothy Elkins from Genesee is the incumbent, and Timothy Hogsma from Kent is the incumbent.
I move we vote for the 2 incumbents.
Support.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. There they go.
They're done.
You're
Now, I
done.
hope they don't change their mind.
Well, they'll be back.
We'll have to sign off or.
yeah. I'll wait after we're made.
Yeah.
Audit refund.
So I was letting you know that we did get our 2021 MDOT audit adjustment, and that was $299,630.
Which was included in our budgeting process because we knew it, or we expected it to come. for
We
2023?
expect
Or 2024?
something to come, but this is 2 years back.
Well, I
So-
understand that,
And
but
so we kinda
again,
guess at what it's gonna be.
right, but based on our conversation earlier in the meeting, we kind of expected that kind of a figure, and it's we already budgeted to receive that in 2024.
And so the next 2 years are probably gonna go up from there.
Do we think we're
And
gonna
then
get
that's,
more?
oh yeah, but well, this year we're gonna put 5 new trucks on the state trunk lines.
Okay,
They don't like that.
okay,
And they've asked us to bump up our Schedule C rate that we charge them throughout the year, so that this big reimbursement at the end doesn't happen, because it comes out of different pots of money, and
that happened to us before,
we wound up paying.
and we ended up paying big time.
So I
don't
talked
like changing
with Scott
Schedule
and
C.
Kelby, and kinda came to an agreement that we would bump it up to 100%.
They wanted 120.
They wanted like 120, and I'm like, no, we'll go to 100, and we'll see where it goes, but.
And I'm in the process of getting that set up right now. For the
So as
first
we
of the
bought
year,
some of
the
this new
ARPA
equipment,
and
put it on the
85.
state trunk lines, back in 21, there was probably like 1 or 2 trucks on it. Well, the 22 is gonna have like 3 trucks, the 24 is gonna have 5 trucks, so it'll go up significantly.
what's the maximum number of trucks on our state?
5.
5, okay, so they're all gonna be new ones in
When
the,
all these come in, the 2 we just got in from truck and trailer, and the 2 that are at truck and trailer will be 4 of the 5, and then 1 of those that we bought from the Boyer truck will be the 5th one.
so the
and
other one
then-
will not.
The other 3,
We'll be moving
2
to
will move to the county.
That we're currently
Yep.
under.
And that won't get us any extra, because there's some junky ones that need to go, and we still need some more trucks, but we're still sitting better than
last year.
where we were.
We're sitting better than we were 12 months
And
ago.
that's about the only way we can buy trucks, is put them on state truck.
There's no reason for you not to.
No,
No,
If you bought 1 truck a year, and it stayed on there for 5 years, it'd be totally paid for, and it'd go to the county.
Right.
And if you bought 1 truck a year from this on out, in 5 years, MDOT will pay for it. And so really, you're getting the trucks for free.
right.
But 1 truck a year doesn't keep your fleet
no.
where it needs to be either, so. Doesn't hurt it, but it doesn't.
And they do take a beat.
Okay. Anything else?
So, yeah, kind of back to that. So how many trucks a year should we be buying to keep our fleet where it needs to be?
At least 2, and like maybe every second or third year, 3.
Okay. So,
We've got 38 frontline trucks that we need, I believe, so.
so in 25 or 26, are we gonna try to institute that? Not policy
We need
per
to do
se,
at least
but
1, no matter what,
practice.
and see where we sit.
Okay,
Yeah, my thought is, since we bought this many here just recently, we may be able to get by for the next couple of years by just doing 1 a
just
year.
doing the one and then start,
Yeah.
You do 1, because like you said, you're gonna need some more
Right.
light equipment.
right,
And so do 1 with some light equipment for a few years and see, that'll help,
right,
which is better than what's been happening lately, but, for the years coming up here.
right. Okay,
Okay. Public comment? Yes, Al?
How ironic. Mr. Griffith brings up the 2023 phaser rating by county, kind of an article that came up on my computer this morning, like the 3rd article, and it really drew my attention to it. And unfortunately, the reason it drew my attention is there were 2 counties that did not report anything in 2023.
right.
Genesee and Hillsdale. It's really an interesting article. I haven't had a chance to really dive into it, but they give you this map, and this white out area is Hillsdale, and it shows the north half had a rating in 22. So I
That's
just,
what Larry Brown did.
That's one Larry.
yeah, so I went in there and looked at it, and that was the time that we're going through all this changes, and I think Heather left. But it's very interesting. And you can go in there and you can even look at all the counties, 9 pages. The worst county in the rating system at this time is Menominee. They have 70 roads in the 4 rating area. So that's,
70%.
yes,
Well,
1 to 4.
with ours being left out, we might be the best.
We are.
That's a possibility. I can't wait to see the new numbers. Anyhow, I just wanna, Michigan is at 67% of the primary roads in good and fair condition, matches last year's rate, but continue to fall below the state goal of 90%, which is, it hasn't been since 15 years, in 15 years, so that was kinda interesting. I didn't hear anything about Flower Road or Higgs. And I'm hoping that they're on your radar.
They are.
Okay, and question. The West Bacon Road that was chip sealed between 49 and Sand Lake Road, did you guys do something to that? Cause it looks like you sprayed it.
Huh?
That's just from the,
That's that emulsion that's turning back to like it's almost a liquid, like a tar, and it's just kind
yeah.
of,
And I
the
just, I
traffic's
wondered.
spreading it all over, and, yeah, that's what
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay,
No.
I've never seen a chip seal do that. And that's the problem with doing an emulsion, because emulsions are proprietary. Yeah. So every company has their own, like, little formula, and they won't tell you that formula was in it, just the emulsion.
Right.
It's gotta match your
And then they can match it with a stone and blah, blah, blah. I've never seen any of them, no matter what company you get it from, after a full year of being out there, go back to being a liquid state. I have no idea, and I think it's baffling him too, so.
Hillsdale Road did that back in the 70s a lot, and they just kept spreading gravel on it and just kept soaking it up. I remember riding a bicycle out there and the tire would build up in the wheels like when you're walking in clay, you know?
Yep.
It was,
Hard to drive.
The melt plate was too low.
Yeah, I don't know what they did, cause it's like, it's got, cause oil and water don't mix, and so they mix the soap in it, and that's what makes the emulsion, and they have their own little,
Right.
and I think they mixed.
Somehow.
But if I can talk them into replacing all the chip seal oil for next year, or for this year,
That'd be great.
that's where we're gonna have to be.
Was that done in the rain though? It can't be
That-
done when it's wet, correct?
It can, you know, you don't want to do it in a downpour or nothing, but if the pavement's damp, it's not a big deal, because there's water in the emulsion that has to dry out, and that's when it dries out, that's when it locks everything together. But, yeah, you don't want to do it in a downpour, but it can be damp.
Just remember like a day after they did it, it's like the gravel didn't stick to it. People were shoveling it. I live right there. And, you know, it had gone off into the ditch. All that gravel was in the ditch. And people were saying it was because it rained, it didn't stick, so I just wanted to clarify
And
that.
rain doesn't affect it that much. And like I said, if it's downpouring, it's just like big drops
I
hitting
have no clue, I just was
the emulsion,
question.
but no.
And then, can you define what light truck duty would be? What trucks are those?
1 tons, pickups, that kind of thing.
And they're used for what?
Patching, we put, cold patch, asphalt patch, if we have a hot box on them. Getting the flaggers out to the job site, get workers out to the job site, just pick up some 1 tons. We use them for.
Does that include any of the managers to get new trucks? I just want to clarify it.
No, there'll be 1 more for the manager.
Thank you.
Anybody else? 1
Yeah.
ton for brush and stuff too, pick up.
Yeah, just cruise in general.
I went to Ohio and there's something that I'm sure you guys probably looked at it before. They have what the company's called 2020 down there. Are you familiar with that, anyone? They make double chamber culverts out of plastic, 2 foot and so on. The press is, it's as high as your barn out here. It's massive in size. And there is a new direction that they're trying to bring in these, say, plastic, but it's all new plastic. They can't use old or brought in plastics. So it's just something, to look at, even if we're gonna be laying, instead of using culverts in that sense. I don't know what their cost is. I didn't get into that with them, but I did wanna know a little bit more. And so I was kind of looking at that. The other, when you were mentioning about not being able to complete that part of the road, you know, the 2 miles or whatever that is, and not to the influence, but in my day, we used to say, if we can, we look at how much that would actually cost, and then we took it and said, we'll give you X amount as a bonus if you can't get it done. Rather than to be bargaining to say, we need to have it done, and then if we can, we'll give you this as a bonus. It's no different than what MDOT has done for many years, you know that. They get out there, they put the whole road in, they give you 10 miles, you get it done a certain time, you get an extra bonus. So there's nothing wrong in trying to chip in an idea that we kind of, not say calm them, but a possibility that a little bit in the direction, so the cost or what could get done. I'm just asking if that might be, you know, something that might be gestured.
It could be looked at, I guess, you know, but I think that section of road, I don't know if I'd wanna spend extra money just to have it done a few months early. If it gets done next year, it's not gonna fall apart on us by then, by no means, but I don't know if I'd wanna spend extra money to get them to push forward quick versus if it takes until the spring to get it done.
Well, just in question. I really don't know what it's all gonna mean in the future. You said about grading our roads, the grading, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the example is supposed to be for. Would it not be, in the future, it's gonna be looking at, another cost in the township. You don't know how much that would be, we don't know that would be, but you're asking this to be done on which we, when townships are gonna have to forward a few more dollars because we're gonna either look at widening, we're gonna look at the foundation, we're gonna look at a lot of things in that. So could we not ask, the commissioners to go and address to the township that, you know, under the expectations that this thing will be coming, that ask them, you know, their own supervisor, to take a look at those particular roads that they have in their township to see what could be possible to be addressed, so that it can be looked at beforehand, so that there's not gonna be, you know, a bash of new dollars, since everyone's getting bashed from economic, you know, problems. This is just one added, you know, pill to this problem. Can we not find something we can just go to the township and address them, you know, and say, take a look at your roads prior to, so that we can say, we're gonna address this is how we're gonna be looking at it, and maybe we can get something done prior, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't know what if there's an ending to it, I don't know, but I just didn't wanna see another added cost,
Chris, you got anything?
and I'd like a cup of coffee, Bob.
Yeah, it's coming wet. Oh, I was gonna tell you something, I used to spend some time down in Texas, and in the summertime, they re-oil the pavement, because it dries up and crumbles, because it gets so hot down there. I don't know, little food for thought, I doubt that would influence anything you do, but I'm just wondering if maybe some of these roads, you know, they shrink up and they start cracking every 20 feet or something like that, if we could spray them with some sort of emulsion that would soak in and keep them elastic.
There's options like that, I mean, we kinda experimented in Jackson with it, they kinda joked with it, saying it's a road lotion.
Yeah.
It's just a clear thing that's supposed to make it a little more pliable. Did it actually work? I don't know if I could say.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you.
But the pavement here is, the mixed design is different than Texas.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah, and that's what the numbers in it will tell you, the minimum maximum operating temperatures that your normal roads are at, where Texas would have higher ones, and their mixture is different because they have the higher temperature, or Alaska even has lower ones because they have lower temperature. Every region has a mixture that.
Here we have frost laws, down there they have heat laws.
Yeah.
So that's all part of the spec on the asphalt itself, to try to match as best possible the temperature for your region.
Would you happen to know, just as took an evaluation, I think, of the roads in Jackson that are all, you know, various asphalt and so on, what they're rated at? I went up there and I decided to travel, and I went through quite a few of their back roads. It's shameful to go a lot of their roads. Shameful. I mean, I've never seen.
They're not any better than here, if not worse, except for the 3 townships that have done local road villages, and those 3 townships are those three townships are like beautiful.
Well, I question it, and I look at every one of them.
Oh, well, I think of it, Pittsburgh Township, on the corner of Second and 34, or Hudson Road, there's a tree that definitely needs trimmed. You can't see to the west. It's the only tree on the corner.
On where?
Hudson Road and Second Street, Pittsburgh. Yeah, the southwest corner.
Hudson Road's also M34, it's the same highway.
And then on the corner of North Adams, then on the corner of North Adams Road and Walden Road, somebody crashed that guardrail right on the curb.
I think we went by that, we went doing our phase rating the other day, so Kevin knows that one's.
North Adams and Millens, heading east, the south side of the road, there's a tree that needs to be, take the swing arm more and whoop them down.
Notice.
Is there a?
Will somebody get out and trim it, yeah, because you can't see to the south, and the traffic's coming.
Okay.
Is there a lit
Speaking
up stop sign in North Adams and Millens coming from the east? Is that, every time I'm heading south on Millens, coming up on North Adams Road, I slow way down, thinking somebody might run that stop sign.
They
Just
do,
wondering, is there a light on that one?
no, but they got the lollipop, the reflectors
Weed
on it.
spray.
Yeah.
That's not until like a fall type thing.
It does have for
I want mine sprayed, I just
rumble
want to make
strip
sure.
warning
thought it
before
was
the stop sign, but there's been numerous people killed there over the years.
Well, I'm sure.
It's actually better because on the north corner, there used to be a great big oak tree. And so people couldn't see traffic, coming. They'd go out in front of them there, but years ago, the county cut that and then they widened the intersection.
Bright light.
Sorry.
Kathy's got something.
Bob, I got a question for you. I haven't heard anything about M99 and that whole sinkhole that we had last year, and we had the road closed, and then they did a temporary paving.
They're
Haven't
gonna-
heard no noise on it this summer.
Well, that's actually Matt's baby.
Matt Ward, yeah, which is the
They're
drain
gonna-
commissioner.
Yep, they're gonna do it, I'm not sure exactly when, but.
Okay, so we haven't heard anything on it?
I see that's cracking off again.
But I will be having a meeting with him on the 3rd, because there's another company that's wanting to come in and put these sensors on a couple of the drainage districts. They're mainly on the drains, I think, or the county drains, but one of them going into Lime Lake and coming out of Lime Lake. They're putting these sensors on it, and they're going all over the lower half of Michigan. We just happen to only have 3 of them in Hillsdale. And so I've got a meeting with them and the company and DNR and, to work out
What are they sensing?
the flow or what's in the water. I don't know if they're
Water
checking.
level or?
I don't know.
So how's the patch on M99 doing?
As far as I've seen, good.
It's not a road I travel, so I thought I'd ask.
I guess, I heard a report last night that, well, in fact, I think Bob had given this report at a township board meeting. Was it Ransom Township on Monday night or Tuesday night? That Brad Benzing made this comment at Amboy's meeting last night, and he said they're waiting on some state permits in order to go ahead with that project.
99?
I thought there had to have been something, because normally Matt was.
Right, and I know we talked about it a lot last year, because the road, was only one way, and then we did the temporary fix for over the winter, and I have not heard
Well,
word one about it going into this summer
It
season.
wouldn't surprise me if, here we are, we're in the middle of June, that it would not surprise me that this won't get addressed until next year.
didn't they have to go in there and do like some I can't tell, hydrological
There's all
studies
kinds
or?
of water on the east side of the road.
I'm not sure.
Wasn't there an endangered animal or something in there too they were looking at? Or not an endangered, but
No, there's always an endangered animal.
That's usually something.
spotted owl.
Snail or,
I thought it was the quantity of water and just how big
yeah,
of a
that's,
thing they had in it, and if they could
they're gonna have
find,
to,
and if they could find solid bottom was,
Yeah,
I
I
thought the
think
other
that's-
issue, but I didn't think it had anything to do with endangered species. I don't remember hearing anything about
No,
endangered species.
that's, they always have to look at that.
Yeah, right, right.
But no, I haven't heard anything from Matt, but on the third I will be meeting with him, so.
July 3rd,
We can
the day before the 4th, really? He's working the
Yeah,
day before the
that
4th.
week, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It's not a holiday.
Depends on who you talk to, anyway.
Anything else? If not, we stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.